So you may have heard that our Parish Council recently amended our Regathering Guidelines in light of the Governor's Phase 2.5 to allow for small group outdoor gatherings 2 weeks after the state moved into Phase 2.5, provided that groups abide by the safety rules. That's a lot of language. So what exactly does that mean, and how does it impact youth ministry? Starting immediately, small groups less than 50 may meet outside, provided they follow some safety guidelines. The safety guidelines that impact youth ministry are groups maintain social distancing with household units practicing physical distancing of 6 feet from each other. So when you're together, be apart. Face coverings must be worn at all times. It's important to bring a mask. If your group is meeting on campus, the bathrooms will not be available to use, so be sure to use the bathroom before you come. Each small group must have a designated host who's responsible for ensuring that all the participants adhere to the rules, as well as taking attendance of those who participated in order to comply with contact tracing if necessary. We also ask that all participants perform a personal health assessment prior to the gathering to ensure that they don't have any symptoms of cough, a sore throat, shortness of breath, or flu-like illness, as well as taking their temperature to ensure that they don't have a temperature of 100 or greater. If you have any of these symptoms, we ask that you play it safe and stay home. There's always next week. We have a one-page compliance document that lists all of the guidelines for outdoor gatherings for our campus, and that must be shared with anyone that is planning to attend so that we all know the guidelines before gathering together, and then we can all work together to ensure that we enforce them. We'll be sharing these guidelines in our small group resources in Planning Center, which you can access by logging in with your youth's login and then going to their group in the Church Center app or online at apexumc.churchcenter.com. So now that we know that outdoor gatherings are allowed and what's involved in order to participate, let's talk about the timing of these events. We know that everyone has a different risk tolerance when it comes to COVID-19, and it's important that we remain mindful of that. Some are ready to gather right away, while others are weighing the risks because they may have someone who is high risk in their family, they may be at risk themselves, or they may feel uneasy about the undetermined long-term health risks of getting sick with COVID. And all of that is okay. We don't all have to be in the same place right now. What's important is that we are mindful of others and find ways to extend grace and compassion to those around us. We're asking for that in 2 specific ways when it comes to youth ministry. First, small groups would not be possible without our dedicated teams of small group leaders who devote so much of their time to caring for their small group through their preparation, attendance, and follow-up throughout the week. Because of the size of our youth ministry, the only way that we can gather safely outdoors is if small group leaders are willing to help. This is why we've asked each team of small group leaders to discuss amongst themselves and determine what is best for them and their group right now. So if you're ready for your group to go ahead and start meeting, but your leaders aren't yet, please be patient and extend grace as we navigate these new social situations. Secondly, we know that just because a group may be prepared to meet in person, not everyone who's a part of that group may be. We also know that the relationships and trust that are built in small group take time, and trying to realign small groups into in-person and virtual-only groups would be detrimental to the relationships and trust already formed in so many of our small groups. It would also be difficult to build that in new groups, knowing the challenges of connecting online going forward. That's why we've asked that if groups meet in person, they consider ways to include the other members of the group who are not ready to meet in person yet. This may be hosting a video call as part of the meeting and allowing people to remote in, or creating other opportunities that include everyone online only. This is going to take some trial and error as we find out what works best for which groups. So again, please be patient and extend grace as we try to figure this out together. This pandemic has certainly made things challenging for all of us. We've had to adapt to new social norms, navigate new technologies, and find new ways to be a church together. But our mission hasn't changed. Despite all these new challenges, we still want to find ways that we can invite and equip all to follow Jesus in transforming the world. Because if there was ever a time that the world needed the church to show them the love and grace of Jesus, it's now. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Dana, and we'll be sure to keep you informed as things change. God bless.